A light ginger snap crust topped with a spiced pumpkin and sweetened cream filling. We're serving with whipped cream. If you like pumpkin and spice, then this dessert has your name on it. It's our spiced pumpkin cheesecake. Before I begin, I want to do a big week at the cottage thank you to my friend Olga for inspiring this scrumptious fall dessert. Thank you, Olga. And now, if you're watching this thinking, oh, I want a really lovely dessert for Thanksgiving, or the holidays, or Christmas, you're totally getting our vibe. The only thing I want to remind you, you need to make this dessert the day before you intend to serve. Know what? Why don't I just show you how to make it now? We're going to start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, the pan. You're going to need a 9-inch springform pan for the recipe. I start by removing the bottom, tracing it onto parchment. You cut out a round and then reassemble the pan. We're going to do a spritz of cooking spray, add the round to the bottom of the pan, and then we're going to place 2 sheets of foil crisscross on the work surface. I'll explain why in a bit. You're going to bring the foil up and tighten it around the sides. Set the prepared pan to the side. Now we're going to make a ginger snap cookie crust for this cheesecake recipe. You're going to need 6 tablespoons of butter melted for the recipe. I have my food processor fitted with a blade attachment. You're going to need a bit more than 2 cups of ginger snap crumbs. The cookies go into the machine, zip to crumb, then measure out 2 cups of ginger snap crumb. But watch this. I'm also setting aside a couple of spoonfuls, about 2 tablespoons worth, of the crumb to the side. I'm going to use that as a garnish for the cheesecake. Into the medium-sized bowl containing the 2 cups of ginger snap crumbs, I'm adding a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're going to stir to combine. Then slowly add the 6 tablespoons of melted butter. You're going to stir as you add the butter. The crummy mix gets spilled into the prepared pan. Press into the bottom and 1 inch up the inside. We're going to then transfer the pan to the oven and bake for 7 minutes to set. When it's done, bring it out of the oven, cool on a wire rack. Next step is going to be to make the filling for the pumpkin cheesecake, but let's talk a little bit about pumpkin spice flavoring. Yes, you can go to the store and buy a little container of it already made, but we're going to suggest you make your own because we're going to up the flavor profile to create a cheesecake with flavors that are, trust me, off the charts. Here's how to do it. Into a small bowl, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons ground ginger, 1 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, and then I also added in the teaspoon of kosher salt for this recipe, plus a pinch of black pepper. Wait, I added a second pinch of black pepper too. We're gonna stir to combine, set that homemade pumpkin spice mix to the side. Now let's continue and make that filling. The recipe calls for 3 packages of cream cheese at room temperature, that's 24 ounces. Drop them into the bowl of a stand mixer, then add 1 cup of dark brown sugar packed and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Paddle attachment goes onto the machine. Let's run the mixer on medium speed until the mixture is fluffy. It'll take about 3 minutes. Pro tip, you can scrape down the side of that bowl as needed. Now comes that serious pumpkin flavoring, and we're going to use a beautiful pumpkin puree, right? Not pumpkin pie filling. That's already spiced, way too much sugar. Make sure you pick up a 15-ounce can of pumpkin puree. Better still, make it organic pumpkin puree and you will taste the difference. So I'm adding 1 can of organic pureed pumpkin, 3 eggs at room temperature, 1/4 cup of sour cream, also at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Run the mixture on medium to incorporate. Last step is to sprinkle the batter with the pumpkin spice. Smells really fabulous. We're gonna mix one more time to incorporate fully. pour the batter into the pan. Okay, time out. Now let's do a little rewind. Why did I wrap the outside of the pan with foil? And why am I now placing that soon-to-be cheesecake into a large roasting pan? Oh wait, there's more. I'm now adding boiling water into that roasting pan, filling so the water comes halfway up the pan. We just created a bain-marie, and this is a hot water bath often used when you're cooking something delicate, like a custard or cheesecake. And in this recipe in particular, very important, it'll prevent the cheesecake from cracking and the outside of the cheesecake from burning as it bakes. Transfer the pan to the oven and bake for 60 minutes. At the 60-minute mark, we're going to check the cheesecake. The center may still be jiggly, but our bake time is done. Our final direction on this bake, turn the oven off. We're going to crack the door slightly open and leave the cheesecake within for 1 hour as the oven cools. Then carefully remove the cheesecake from the water bath. We're going to remove the foil and place it onto a cooling rack to cool completely. I leave mine to cool for about 3 hours before loosely covering with wrap and transferring to the fridge overnight. Now it's the next day and we are so ready to enjoy. You have a bowl, you have a hand mixer, 35% cream, a little bit of icing sugar. We're making whipped cream that I then transfer into a piping bag fitted with a star nib. I love the look of this. I also have those reserved GINGERSNAP crumbs at the ready, and now the big reveal. We're going to gently pop the ring, then lift it up and away from the cheesecake. I like to work the underside a little bit so that I can transfer the cheesecake to a pretty serving plate. Sharp knife, we are cutting wedges. Clean the knife in between each cut. Look how perfect this is. Over to dessert plates. Let's do that rosette of whipped cream. Gimme a sprinkle of that reserved crumb. Friends, this is a dessert you just gotta make. Pumpkin cheesecake perfection right there. Good news, full recipe is up at weekend@thecottage.com. When you're visiting our website, please subscribe to it. Look for this video on our dedicated YouTube channel. You can subscribe to it as well. And then when pumpkin cheesecake is this exceptionally perfect, take a picture of it, post it on your favorite socials using hashtag weekend@thecottage on Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. It's our incredible spiced pumpkin cheesecake. I'm so ready to try this one. The cheesecake is so light and beautiful. Flavor is remarkable. Crust is fabulous. You know what? It's kind of like pumpkin pie, but it's not. It's like your favorite cheesecake, but better. It is absolutely wonderful. Hope you enjoy. Yay.